back to episode 4 of Coffee Chats with Mo and Bro.
Hello, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's a really good morning here in Auckland, so nothing to complain about so far. How are you going?
Yeah, good. Just did the coffee run. Got us our 2 coffees. As usual, you got your
You should know by now.
Americano,
One more time.
Americano, and just a flat white again today.
Did you get me a sweetener in this one?
I don't know.
Ah, okay. You only got it about 5 minutes ago. Can't even remember.
No, probably not. I just said Americano.
No wonder it tastes like shit. Nah, thanks, bro. As usual, guys, make sure to grab yourself a coffee, a cup of tea, whatever it may be. Come have a chat with us. We're going over our 4 topics: nutrition, something to do with training, lifestyle tips, and then something business behind the scenes of what's going on here at Motion Fitness. So it's
And before you start, make sure to subscribe, like, whatever you normally say. Yeah.
What he
follow,
said.
whatever.
See, this is why I do that.
Yeah,
You
okay.
don't do it.
Okay. We'll carry on.
No, good job, bro. Good job. No, yeah, exactly what he said. So make sure to do all of that stuff. So we'll get straight into it because we know that nutrition is super important, and I actually have a really interesting topic that I wanted to talk about today, which is carbs, because people think carbs are the enemy. And so they kind of tend to stay away from carbs. So I'm interested to know, Brandon, what your thoughts are when it comes to carbs and how the public may find trying to stay away from them when it comes to their weight loss journey.
Yeah, so with carbs, like working with clients for so many years, like I won't lie, it's probably easier to lose weight when you drop carbs, just because carbs are so accessible.
Mm-hmm.
They're in pretty much everything in a packet. They taste good, they fill you up, and carbs are important, but it's when you have too many carbs that's the issue.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's important not to overdo it with the carbs,
Mm-hmm.
but still to have carbs as part of your diet, because carbs are your main fuel source. That's your energy source.
Yeah.
And because they are so easy to eat in terms of packaged foods, you need to incorporate it into your diet.
Yeah.
If you do like a ketogenic diet or a diet where no carbs are around, I find most of those people never stick to it. Like there's that craze at the moment where it's like, the chopping board come out, the meat, the fruits, the yogurt,
Yeah.
which is all cool. Like, yeah, that's a healthy diet, but you're lacking carbs.
Yes.
And people might follow that and it will work, but I guarantee after 3 months, you're going to be back eating carbs anyway, because it's just too hard to stick to forever. And
yeah.
if you can't follow a diet plan forever, why start? I know I mean that. Why start on something that you can't stick to?
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's all it's going to be, a quick fix to a long-term problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, when it comes to carbs, they're an important part of your diet, mainly for fuel, but it's when you're overdoing it or eating carbs that offer no nutritional value in the forms of potato chips, even meagering noodles, just with too much fats in them. Muffins, all those sort of carbs we want to stay away from, but still get your carbs in through rice. Breads are still fine.
Yeah.
Breads are fine. Kumara, potatoes, all those sources are fine. And going off topic quickly, but when it comes to bread and people thinking they put on weight with bread actually it stores water, which means when you eat bread, you're going to weigh. Yeah, it's going to soak up all the water in your insides, which means you might look like you are a kilo or so heavier, or even bloated, but it's not actually the bread that's adding weight to you. It's because it's more water soluble.
Yeah, definitely. If you think about it as a sponge, right, the bread, you're literally just, your water is just getting soaked into it. So you're holding more weight in there, and that can give you kind of that puffy, kind of fluffy look. But like Brandon said, carbs are super important for us for our energy. So if you cut out those carbs, it may mean that you're struggling to have the energy just to do the day-to-day activities like walking and everything like that. So when it comes to actually training, applying it to weight training, to have no energy when it comes to that is so dangerous. You can get injuries. You're not performing as well as you could be. And I don't really understand the whole removing of carbs. There's really not much benefit behind of it.
I think because it's a quick fix. Like it's very easy to eliminate carbs.
Yeah.
Because people eat so much carbs.
Yeah.
It's very easy to just say, "Oh, get rid of them completely." But it's just about factoring in how much carbs you have.
Mm.
And so there's plenty of calorie calculators online which can figure out macros, but I understand it is all a lot of work.
Yeah.
And that's when people would normally come to someone like us so we can sort it all out for them to help them know how much carbs you should be having in your diet.
Yeah. And definitely don't stay away from carbs. Especially the right ones, because they're great. They're yummy, right? So obviously when you having all the carbs and everything, and it comes to going and hitting the gym and doing your weight training, say when is the best time to be doing cardio? Because a lot of people do want to implement cardio and they hear all these kind of, things around cardio. When is the right time to do it?
So like first off, you'd want to be doing cardio more for your heart health, making sure you're not going to just drop dead one day, not have a heart attack. More so than just doing it for weight loss. It's probably one of the worst, most hardest ways to lose weight by doing it with cardio. So, you can go for like runs and things like that, which are good for weight loss because you burn calories, but there's a limit to how long and how far you can run. And so eventually, if you go for an hour run every day, the only way to then burn more calories and to lose weight is to run further. And who the hell's got time for that? So a lot easier way of doing it would be to look at how much you're eating. It's a lot easier to control. But in terms of when's the best time to do cardio, I'm big on first off weight training, strength training, muscle mass density, help with osteoporosis, mainly for women. So it's very important that people get that strength training in. But with cardio, I would normally recommend about maybe 2 sessions a week. And getting cardio more in the day-to-day activities of getting your steps in. 10,000 steps every day, parking a bit further away, going for longer walks. But if you do want to incorporate it into your gym workout, I would normally suggest after your weight training. So your muscles have what's called glycogen, which is just your muscles' energy source. When you lift weights, your muscles are depleted of glycogen, which is just that energy. And then when you then do cardio after you've depleted your muscles, it's easier to burn fat. So fat becomes your next fuel source. If you do it the other way around and you do your cardio first, you have just depleted your muscles of their glycogen, which then means when you go do weights, you're going to have less energy than if you had done it the other way around. So these are real like minuscule factors, and overall, as long as you're strength training and doing your cardio, that's the most important thing. But if we want to look at the real little technicalities and how to be most effective, it would be do your weights first, followed by your cardio. And then kind of that brings us to the next step, because there's so many different ways of doing cardio. What are your best cardio tools that you use or your clients use to get results?
Honestly, I would just recommend to people to do the cardio that they enjoy and that they can stick to for years to come. Because personally, and I think this is the same with you, Brandon, is we're not much of a runner. So I do struggle.
Speak for yourself. I'm explosive.
Hey, I've
explosive
seen him.
Sprints.
No, the other week I asked him to sprint up the hill with us in my little dog, and I don't really know if that was much of a sprint, but hey, you tried. That's all we asked for. No, but honestly, just do the cardio that you enjoy. So like I said, I'm not much of a runner. I do still go for the odd run when I feel a little bit frisky, but I come from a dance background. So if someone was to say to me, hey, do you want to go to a dance class, or I see a dance class pop up on my phone, then that's the way that I'm going to get my cardio in, because I enjoy it and it's something that I have been able to stick to for years. So if there's something that you enjoy doing, whether that be, I don't know, dancing, boxing, light jogs, cycling, swimming, anything to do with cardio and looking after your cardiovascular health, so your heart health, then I would recommend to do that, because there's no point doing something that you don't enjoy when it comes to cardio, because you're not going to stick to it, and it's just going to be a nightmare to do as well. But you also touched on something, osteoporosis, before. That I just wanted to jump back onto, because a few people may not know what that is. So that pretty much just means your bone density. So when it comes to weight training, that's what you are doing. You are applying weight to your bones, which means that they're going to remain healthy rather than condensing down and getting real fragile. So that's when weight training is super important for that. Just if anyone didn't know what osteoporosis is, because it's a big bloody word.
I bet you can't spell it.
I actually can. I love that word as well. Do you want me to try?
Yeah, go on then.
Osteopor.
Got him.
OSIS.
Oh yeah, no.
Did I get it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it sounds right to me.
Nah, that is right.
Okay. Yeah.
Now do it backwards. You probably could do SIS OR
P.
No, it was meant to be E, and then R. I mean,
nah, you stuffed it. See, it was P.
No, but I think you missed the E. I don't know.
Anyway.
Someone say it in the comments, because that'll be interesting. But yeah, so that's just touching on that. But like Brandon said, to do cardio would be more beneficial to do it after your weight training, and then the cardio that we want to do is the cardio that we enjoy. With a lifestyle tip, is there anything that you've kind of picked up on your ways when it comes to desserts? Because there's quite a few sweet tooths out there, myself included. So when would you kind of recommend for those people to be reaching for those desserts throughout their day?
Yeah, no, like it's normal for people to want dessert, and I feel when people go on diets, they feel as though they have to stop having desserts, and yeah, sometimes if you want to go really strict and you have maybe like a 6-week time frame to cut down, we need to get rid of all that stuff. But if we want an actual sustainable approach where you lose weight and you keep it off, it's important to be able to have the odd sweet treat after dinner. So most people want to have dessert in the evening.
Yeah.
Most people are generally going to crave sweet stuff in the evening. When you're sitting down, relaxing, watching TV, done everything you need to for the day, that's when it's most tempting to go off your meal plan.
Yeah.
If that was the case, I'd be big on saving calories for dessert.
Yeah.
And then just having low calorie dessert options. So the things like some of the things that are in our meal plans, but things that everyone can get from Woolworths, there's better options than just the high fat ice creams. There are lower calorie ice creams. There are lower calorie yogurts. All that stuff.
Well, I mean, we're massive on, I think both of us, we like to enjoy our paddle pops, right? Because there's something like 80 calories in those.
Yeah.
In comparison to a Magnum, which I think the lowest calorie Magnum has about 250 calories in it.
Yes.
So that's a massive difference, and you're still getting that chocolatey dessert fix. So if you can swap out a Magnum for a paddle pop, you're saving at least 150 calories just there.
Another one, though, I find, like, for people with families and stuff and might not be able to buy individual ice creams, they buy tubs.
Yes.
Tubs of ice cream.
Yeah.
You just need to be very careful when you start buying tubs, because it's so easy to overdo it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if that's the case, it's best to weigh your ice cream. And I know that sounds like a lot of work, but just a little bit of scales will definitely help out. Or a good one that I've been doing, and look, I like ice cream as much as the next person, but mainly like to start the week, Monday to Thursday, I'll try not have the ice cream and have like a Greek yogurt.
Yeah.
And mix in the caramel topping or the chocolate sauces that are all like 0 sugar, so there's pretty much no calories. So first off, it's a low calorie dessert. It's still sweet enough. It gives you a bit of a fix, and it actually has a lot of protein in it with the Greek yogurt. So like there are healthier desserts. Sometimes they're not all amazing. And look, every now and then I do slip up and have like, a proper Ben & Jerry's ice cream. But it's about choosing the right option more times than not.
Yeah, and not just always grabbing the Ben & Jerry's.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because you've still got to put them into your food plan, because otherwise you're not going to enjoy what you're eating. So you've still definitely got to do that. And I find that a good tip as well is a lot of people go for the normal size Snickers or Crunchy bars or the Mars bars, whatever it may be. You can get those little snack packs as well, which I don't know how many are in them, but you're getting the little ones, and I think it's 50 calories. Do you know if that's right? Around 50 calories.
50 to 70, I think.
So you only, when you want something, desserty, you don't if you have a whole massive chocolate bar in there, you're likely going to eat majority of it because it's there and it's accessible and it's easy to grab. Whereas if you just have these little ones, you're going to limit yourself, but you're still getting that chocolatey dessert fix. So you're still curing that craving that you'll have. So that's a massive tip. But yeah, there's so many low calorie options you can have.
There are, and I think in a perfect world, ideally we want to try stay away from buying that stuff, because when it's in the house, that's when it's easy to eat.
Yeah.
So don't buy it. But you know, we're all going to slip up. I'm going to buy it from time to time. So are you. So are our clients.
Yeah.
And now it's about understanding when to have it, and just allowing the calories so you have low calorie dessert options.
Yeah, exactly. If you do happen to go grab one of those big packs, if it be maybe you give the pack to your partner and you say, "Come and hide this," or hide it in a, like hide it away from me. And then when I say I'm allowed one, then you can get one. Just tips and tricks
that. But it's also I feel like it's also building up mental willpower.
Yeah. But it is hard for people to do that initially. It is really hard to jump into the deep end and be like, I'm not going to have any of it. So it's how can you work around that?
Yeah, and well, that's the next challenge, and that's when I'm big personally on, like, say Monday to Wednesday, Monday to Thursday. Let's just not buy it.
Yeah.
Let's just go 3 or 4 days without any of that.
Yeah.
Stick to the Greek yogurt,
Yeah.
the caramel sauce. Let's just go real healthy dessert options. And then on the weekends, that's when people tend to relax a bit.
Yeah.
But still, don't fall off your meal plan.
Yeah.
You're still understanding you need to stay within your calorie range. But now let's resort to the Kit Kats or the ice cream that you do like.
Yeah.
But the lower calorie options.
Yeah.
So we want to build mental willpower. And you can, at the end of the day, only you can do that.
Yeah.
So you want to take ownership of those things.
It's so interesting though, because I am such a sweet tooth, and I'm a lot better now than what I used to be. But I used to always grab something in the evening, and I could never imagine myself getting Greek yogurt with like the 0 sugar maple syrup or blueberries, which is what I do religiously now to grab my sweet treat. And it is so beautiful, those three ingredients mixed together.
And I think that is the trade-off that we want our clients and followers to understand. Like, sometimes losing weight does suck a bit. We'd be lying. I would love to have a raspberry Magnum ice cream every single night. I really would. But it's not worth it, because if I have that every night, I'm going to start looking worse, feeling worse, be in a vicious cycle now where it's then harder to get out of.
Yeah.
So, look, for me, Greek yogurt, it's not ideal, but it's not bad.
It's not bad.
And that's the thing. Once you stick to it, there's so many different flavors out there, different sauces you can put on it, low calories. It's worth it.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so definitely give that a try if you haven't already, because God, now I'm feeling like it as well. It's almost lunchtime, so I'm definitely feeling like it. What's kind of been going on behind the scenes, or actually let's talk about our start of our journey. So we've touched on it briefly before, but we started the business about 8 months ago now. And initially, I don't even know how the conversation came up, but we ended up in Thailand. I don't even know how that situation came up, who suggested it first or anything like that. I'm not too sure if you can remember.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I remember you had been to Thailand once or twice before and you loved it. And to be honest, when I left my job as a PT after 9 years, going online, I just thought, online I can just travel the world and work online. How easy is this? And I just thought, let's do it. And also, it was a cheaper way of living.
Yes.
Like, that was a big thing for me. It's like taking that leap. Let's try to keep expenses as low as possible for now. So we went there, and like, it was fun. It was, but by no means was it a holiday. Like, we were working our butts off, still enjoying it, but we were working long hours. But I wouldn't have changed it for anything. It was a good experience.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where we grew so much as well. Like, the takeaways that we got from that trip has just been next level, especially when it comes to like our mental capacity and everything like that. Like, we grew, and I can see a difference with both of us.
Yeah, well, we were in the deep end. You know? Every day was a challenge. We were in a country where not everyone spoke English, so it just made everything a challenge. but there's a lot of good cafes over there,
Yeah.
so we spend a lot of our time working out of them. But even just each day finding a cafe to work out of,
That had internet
they
or
had internet, different time zones. Like we
yeah.
were literally in the deep end,
Yes.
and it's been nice being back here
Yeah.
in New Zealand and being able to just fully control everything.
Yeah.
Life's so much
Yeah.
easier here.
When you think about it, though, we did go over there at the very start of starting the business, and we were
Yeah,
there for 3 months, and we literally threw ourselves in the deep end. So to come back here now, it's a little bit more obviously chill because we're in our safe environment. We're in our houses where we know that there's internet and all of that stuff, and we know where the cafes are around us. We know the grocery stores that we go to and the foods that we get. Whereas when we initially went there, it was just holy shit. Like
yeah,
you were starting from scratch. I literally felt like a baby.
yeah. Every day was a challenge.
Yeah.
Like, where am I going to go train? And where am I going to do my washing? Where am I going to
Yeah.
get my food from? Where am I going to get high protein foods from? Because in Thailand, like, things are way cheaper, but they're also a lot smaller. Like,
Yes.
back here, I get 250 to 300 grams of chicken or steak for most lunches or dinners. Over there, I think you'd get 80 grams
If you're lucky,
if
yeah.
you're lucky. And I would say, oh, double chicken, and then it might be 100 grams. And it was a losing battle. It was
Yeah.
like, they don't understand me, the language barrier. I
Yeah.
don't understand. It is what it is,
Yeah.
but it was a cool experience, and the people in Thailand were so good. Like,
Oh,
some of
beautiful people.
the most friendly people, always there to help you out.
Yes.
So kind. Yeah, so no, it was a cool experience.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to look back on it now and just be like, holy shit, we did that and we survived. So
Yeah.
surely if we can survive that, we can survive anything. But it was massive to just throw ourselves into that deep end and kind of look back now and be like, whoa, we have grown so much.
Yeah.
So much. So that is really cool. Yeah. It was definitely an experience, that's for sure. And we'll probably do it again sometime soon.
Yep.
Never say never. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. We'll end it on that note, I think.
And as I said before, like, follow, share, post, whatever.
Wow, you're really stuck on that one today, aren't you?
Yeah.
Please just do it for him, guys, because I think he's really asking. But no, yeah, like Brandon said, do all of that good stuff one more time.
Like, share, yeah, what she said, just do that.
No, but thank you for watching us. We really appreciate the support. We really enjoy having these chats together as well. So every week we'll do this. Come join us for a coffee, sit down, have a chat, drop any questions that you have into the comment section, and we'll be sure to answer them in the next one. Cheers.